streaming for those that are watching on YouTube. Hi, thanks for joining us. I would like to, oh my gosh, I forget all the wording. It's been such a long week. I propose. No, what's the word? It's not motion. That's the word. It's not propose. I'd like to motion for the meeting to begin.
Seconded.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Next is, do we have a individual that can take notes for us? Because I am terrible at it. And I know that they're more skilled at it than I am. Sarah was super last time because it took, what, 10 minutes? So if anyone else would like to show their skills or improve upon their skills, please make known so that we can get this party started. Or I'm just going to assign.
I'm happy to take notes, Steve.
Adam, thank you so much.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Okay. Yes, today we would like to go through the different order of trying to find my notes for this.
That's okay. And I think we probably want to just go ahead and approve the notes from last time.
Oh, approve the notes last time. Thank you. That's what I was trying to find all what I'm supposed to be doing.
Adam, do you want me to grab those and read them, or
yes.
Do you want me to grab them?
Yeah, can you do that real fast?
You bet. Well, you would think that I could do it quickly, but it's going to take a minute.
Yeah,
Was it April 13th?
That's correct.
Okay. It's loading. Hold on. So. Let's try this. Okay, so can you guys see that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we can see it.
We had the approval of minutes from the previous community council meeting. I moved to approve them. Adam seconded. We talked about math school improvement data and discussed the evolution of the common formative assessments data and what it will look like in future years. And then review of community council rules of order and procedure. So the council discussed whether adjustments to the current rules of order and procedure should be made. The council discussed possibly reducing the number of available council seats, getting the word out about community council positions at back to school night or community events, voting for new mid-year members only after attending 2 council meetings in a row, keeping meetings remote in coming years, and anonymous nominations or voting when meeting remotely. Okay, it's mostly what happened.
Wonderful.
Just need a motion for approval.
I motion for approval on the minutes.
Second.
I'll second it. Oh, there we go.
I win.
It's not the first
We
time.
can have a third. Anyone want a third? Third. Adam, third. Do I have a fourth? Fourth. Anyone? Fourth. Dan, I see you're laughing. Okay, you agree. That is a go for. Dan as a fourth.
$200.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next on the agenda, let's get to the community council rules of conduct and order. Does that sound good to everyone? Okay. To find that those that are following along, just so that we can all kind of be on the same page. If you go to the King Elementary website at king.davis.k12.utah.us, that's a fun thing. And then under school information, you'll find community council. From that drop down, you will be able to go into the rules of order. And that's what we're going to be going over to make sure that all of that is going to be proper for this coming year. And I'll give just a little time for that. Sorry if I went too fast. If you go to the King Elementary website, go to school information, and then the drop down from there should have community council. And then from community council, there's another drop down for rules of order. Okay, rules of order and procedure, E.G. King School Community Council. These rules of order and procedure will be revoted on each year by the current community council members for the following school year. That's what we're going to be doing right now. To promote ethical behavior and civil discourse, each council member shall attend council meetings on time and prepared, make decisions with the needs of students as the main objective, listen to and value diverse options, be sure to the opinions of those you represent are included in discussions, accept accountability and be prepared to be accountable, act with integrity. Those are the main points that are over being in the council. How does everyone feel about those points?
I feel great about them.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that. Sarah, since you did voice your lovely yes, is there anything you'd like to add to it or modify in the wording? Is it clear, concise to everyone?
I don't think that there's anything I would add.
Fantastic.
Jenny, is there anything you would add? And I just tossed.
Have these been on there always?
Yes.
Are they're not new, are they? I didn't think they were new, or I haven't changed anything. Yeah. No. I don't know that we do all that, but okay.
Jenny,
Yeah, sorry
I
about
act with integrity.
No, I think they're great.
Thank you. Okay. So as we go through the different points of it, I've read through these, and a lot of it is, I think, just completely accurate for what is needed for the council and for the school. The things that we have discussed, however, is the voting, because if we are going to be continue doing this virtually, doing a secret ballot is not really possible. The other part is discussing of when as stated before by Sarah, of when we are going to, that the voting is going to take place. And this is under the council members on the second paragraph kind of thing. The following procedures is members inserted in either office may either be self-nominated process. Nominations may also be made by other members. And then voting shall be by secret ballot vote by the school community council. So what are some thoughts about how we are able to have that as a procedure?
We can utilize like Google Forms, or even in Encore, we can create a secret ballot. And in Google Forms, we can make it anonymous, but only send it to community council members. I know that when we did voting, we did something similar, like a Google form that was anonymous, and people then voted for the people that were up there. But I know other schools, when we're voting to fill seats is what I'm talking about. But we can also do that when voting for the chair.
Okay, so that is possible to still have secret ballots virtually and using different forms. Okay, we don't have to list the way we do it, but just that we do it, correct?
That's correct.
I think we
Okay.
just update the wording to say something like, you know, we can choose a online tool to allow for voting by secret ballot.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Okay, so see A and B. So voting shall be secret ballot. Majority. And then so just put underneath, or just continuation of that line, that the secret ballot can be done in forms of ...
We can just say that a digital vote or an online vote can be taken.
are acceptable.
Yep.
Yeah. Like voting will be by secret ballot, in person, or via online tools.
Yep.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicely worded, Sarah.
So all meetings are
I
open
can't
to the
take all the
public.
credit for that, but I will.
All meetings are open to the public, and public is welcome to attend. If a parent member is absent from 3 meetings, the council will consider the seat vacant, and the remaining members will appoint a parent to fill the unexpected term. So again, the public is welcome. That could be worded as well, I think, in that portion as well, that it could be done virtually or in person. Okay.
The two main things, I think, underneath the voting, those are those are more standardized procedures, I guess, for community council. But I wondered if we just wanted to talk about the number of seats, and then also if we are going to continue to have elections in the spring, or if we're going to vote to move them have them in the fall, or vote to move them into the spring. However, there are certain guidelines that we do have to follow. So I have not calculated, Sarah, when we checked the calendar, is it still possible to run, or we don't know?
What are the exact amount? What's the exact amount of time?
I can pull up, if you give me a second, I can pull up the exact requirements.
So those that are following along, it's the first paragraph underneath the council members that we're looking at. I skipped that because I know that this was going to be a little bit bigger talking point. So that's why we're going back to it.
Okay, so there has to be a community council nomination announcement window that is actually 10 days prior to the actual announcement. Prior to the actual window. So it's an announcement period of 10 days. And then my computer's not cooperating. Sorry, hold on a second. Then the actual window has to be 2 weeks.
It's cutting it pretty close. So the 10 days, is that 10 like school days, or can we count just 10 days?
I believe that it just says 10 days, not business days.
Okay. So you could announce it tomorrow, and then we would have to have all nominations in by Friday, and then we could send out the ballot and it would give you exactly 2 weeks to the last day of school.
Sounds a little bit
Can I
tight.
say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I know I've only been at King for a couple of years, but both years it seemed like we've had a lot of moving in and moving out over the summer that we weren't aware of when school ended. And I wonder if that might be a positive to doing elections in the fall, because then people are there and coming to school. And if we do elections in the spring and then half of the people move for the summer, we'll end up doing it again in the fall anyway. Just a thought.
Plus, didn't we, we lost all of the people that said they were gonna do it this year and they didn't even move. So it's probably, but things change. So you know what I mean? Maybe we should wait till spring so that things are more settled.
Should wait until the fall. Jenny, is that what you're saying, or until spring?
I'm sorry. Yes, I meant fall. Yeah, thanks.
That's good. I think the other point, to Jenny's point, like she said, we lost a bunch. They just never came back, right? Would be that was one of the points we brought up last time about the large number of seats, that it's not it's just you can come and you can vote when you want to, kind of a thing. So I think that when we make those actual voted positions, there's more weight to your position, more responsibility. And I know that can scare some people away, but at the same time, we want people who are going to be committed to coming each month and to having these discussions with us and working for the good of the school.
Hey, Dan, on those timelines, is it a minimum and maximum of 10 days, or can you make the announcement and then let it settle or fester, however you want to look at it, over the summer, and then make the voting in the fall?
I don't, for me, I would think that it would be a minimum, that the announcement window is a minimum of 10 days prior. So yeah, I mean, we could, if you think, I think it depends on how you look at it. If it's open too long, then maybe that garners disinterest in it. But, you know, we just try to advertise it, and, you know, when we do fall elections, you know, typically we're trying to talk about community council again at back to school night, or just trying to make community members aware of it around that time. Hey, it's coming up, if you don't know what it is. And when we have community council members talk to other parents about what it is, that can kind of happen during that announcement window. So that if a parent's like, oh yeah, that'd be good, or oh, I got a neighbor who I think would be great at serving on community council, then they can get their name in on the ballot.
Okay, so when would be the time of next year, knowing that we are, from what I've heard, we are wanting to do it in the fall. At what point do we want to have the votes taken? What is like the deadline of we want to have everything settled at this point?
So typically I just will come up with some dates based off of the annual school calendar. And so if I utilize the beginning of the announcement window at back to school night or something like that, then I just count 10 days from that as the announcement period, and then we do the voting after that. So I had specific dates that we had in place for this year, and so I was just, if we were going to go with the fall election again, I'm just going to be mirroring some of those same dates.
Where's the language in the rules that actually states the time frame for the election?
That might be on the website. I don't know if it's included, so we could, if maybe that's something we should add, Adam,
Okay.
to our website that just says, hey, our elections happen annually in the fall. The announcement window will be 10 days long. The voting window will be 14 days. Is that what it is? Is that what I said? Right? 14 days long. So we can just have information like that. So maybe that's a good idea, Adam, to just put that on our, because we don't have I don't have our website pulled up currently. We don't have an election part of that, do we? D on the rules of order and procedure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I asked, because I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Right.
So we could put that on at the start of the second paragraph prior to where it talks about the first meeting electing a chair and vice chair.
Okay.
So I'll draft that up.
Okay, that sounds great.
Right under between the two. Okay, great. That's fantastic. This is going so well. Okay, so let's talk about that next point then. The council should have no more than 14 seats instead of parents.
We should, whatever we decide, we should be clear about what that means. Because both parents and school staff serve on community council. So
that's what I mean. So if we
So-
were to go parent, if from what we've heard, even 14 is a huge number to have. We have here a total of 9. Is that right? We got 9 on board right now. Or am I missing anyone?
So based off of
And
the
4 of which are parents.
based off of the parameters of parents having at least 2 more members than school staff, that would be 8 parent seats and 6 school staff. If that's how we were meaning the 14 seats.
And I think that's still maybe too many. That's my own opinion.
Should we
That's your
maybe
opinion.
even out parents and school staff and just make it like 5 each?
Well,
We have to
parents
have-
to have a majority. So parents
Oh,
have
we
to have
have to.
2% majority. Yeah. So it'll be an even number. It's just
and just
so
to clarify, we just have 8 here tonight. That nice little lion down there is just our streaming buddy.
Okay. Hey, streaming buddy.
So that's like 3 and 4. Well, I can't count anymore. It's fine. We have 4 parents, and
Maybe like 6 parents and
4
4
staff.
school staff makes sense.
So we keep
Okay.
it at 10.
we could keep it to 10 seats total.
All right. So
Sounds
we'll
simple.
do.
So currently it says 14 with a minimum of at least 5. So maybe we just change that and
Here's
say
what,
the council should have no more than 6 parent council seats and a minimum of at least 5.
so here's a hypothetical. Let's hypothetically say that, there's 4 of us. Great. So what is the minimum of, if there is only 4 parents, what's the maximum of teachers that can be on?
I think, right. So obviously the school principal needs to be involved. That's what I think. If you get too small, I think you run into the danger of not having a diverse representation of school staff.
Okay.
So, we have Brittany on here. She works in the office. Say hi, Brittany. Just joking. I just wanted you to show that
And
you
she's
were
also
live.
a parent, which is great. I love that we
Right.
have so many employees that are also parents, so they can weigh
Right.
in on both sides. Although we have to count them as an employee member.
Right.
So
then-
yeah,
But then we
That
have
was-
Joanna, who's a teacher. So so just from that perspective of having 4, so we have 4 employees currently, with Joanna and Brittany, myself and Sarah, and then if we had, that would require us to have at least 6 parent seats, and that would be a 10. So if we wanted to have that type of representation.
so right now, I want to make sure. So if we only have 4 parents on, then technically we could only have 2 because we can't cut a person in half, right?
I don't
Right,
think
I'm
it's
just-
attendance. I think it's formal
Yeah,
membership.
participation
Yeah.
is
No,
not- yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'm not talking about attendance. So I am talking about on there. The reason why I bring this up is what you mentioned, Dan, is needing the principal involved. Is there a way to reword to exclude the principal in the tally of seats?
No.
Okay, that's why I was asking. We need more parents. Okay.
So I think,
then-
yes,
I want to go
I think-
smaller than 4 for staff members. I think if you go fewer than 4, you're running the risk of teachers feeling like their voices aren't
Yeah.
heard.
Because right now we only have one teacher. We have the 4 employees on, right? And I'm talking right now. I'm talking about attending right now. We only have 4 employees attending, but only one of you is a teacher, right? Okay. I want to, and that's why I just feel from my heart, I want to make sure there's plenty of opportunity for all voices from the teachers to be heard, because Joe, you are a fantastic teacher. I've always adored and loved your teaching methods.
Thank you.
They've helped my kids tremendously. I love it. And knowing that you have a very different view than many others. And if they feel that, oh, yeah, she's in it, but why can't I just want to make sure that there's opportune time for all teachers to be involved of different point of views. If we have the principal, the vice principal, or sorry, not vice. You're not called a vice, are you? What are you called?
just Miami Vice.
As much as we want. Hey, so I was just going to add really quickly that we're talking about voting members. Community
Yeah.
council meetings are public meetings, and that if any teacher would like to have a comment or say something, all they have to do is email you. And really, we've tried to even tell our teachers, if you want to talk to us about it, then we can tell Dee that needs to be added to the agenda at the end. They just need to do it in a timely matter, right? I think the thing says 2 weeks in advance that they need to let us know, hey, I want to talk to community council about something, and then we will add them to the meeting. And when
Okay,
it
cool.
was and anyone can get on YouTube and view, right? And then also when we were meeting in person, anybody could show up to the meeting and at least listen. Does that make sense? So
Right. I think that's an important distinction, because if you think that that everybody needs to have voting rights, then we're going to run into the same problem of over-representation and having a large. So we need to understand, people need to understand that they can participate but not have voting rights. So I don't know that we need to increase the number of people that have voting rights, but I definitely agree with you that we want to increase the diversity of voices and opinions that are heard, but that can come through participation, not necessarily increasing seats.
And I'll just say too, Dee, there have been a few times this year where, almost every meeting, other teachers come to me either after a meeting to ask me questions, or they talk to me prior to a meeting, just talk about what's on the agenda, because they know that I'm here for the kids, but I'm also here to represent the teachers. And I think we have a fairly open and honest faculty with each other. So I think as long as the teachers understand what community council is for and what we do, and that I'm a representative for them, or whoever the teacher or teachers are on the council, that we're voting on their behalf, they are really good about having those conversations and letting their thoughts and ideas be known.
That's wonderful. Thank you. That's great to hear. Is there a way that we can even include, like underneath the attendance, how it expresses that it's open to the public, about being able to participate with the council in that?
I
just
think that's a
about
good idea.
under the public comments, it would be like a public comment type thing, right? I mean, that goes for
Okay.
teachers and for the public, that they just
Right,
need
yeah.
to submit their wish to comment, right?
Yeah.
Earlier. And Dan, what have you typically seen? I thought you and I had discussed 2 weeks, but because the agenda is supposed to be up a week before.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Yes, that it needs to be submitted before then, and maybe just making it clear that people don't even have to, people can submit statements. They don't even have to actually attend or read. They can just, they can provide a community council representative a statement to read. So there's lots of different ways for people to participate.
So where is that information about participating?
That is a, if we look on our website, let's see.
There's an attendance section that says all meetings are open to the public and the public is welcome to attend. If a parent member is absent from 3 meetings, then it talks about getting rid of them. So there is something under attendance that says it's open to the public and the public can attend.
So maybe we can be clear on our website as far as participation goes. You know, some rules of order and procedures, if people are going to be making a live statement, they have time limits on how long people can speak for. Like it can get pretty detailed because the last, you know, depending on the type of statement that somebody may provide, yes, the statement needs to be communicated ahead of time, you know, to the community council chair. But then, yeah, there's sometimes there are when a community member is providing a statement, they have X number of minutes, you know, to provide their statement. And there's procedures as far as then the next set of procedures where you go around the community council and community council members can comment on the statement, or they can pass or defer a comment. So there's procedures like that.
I like that. That we don't necessarily, because it's not a rule that you need to participate, but
Right.
part of the participation as a rule that we are limited to the amount of time
Right.
in expressing your views.
Right.
Okay.
Because yeah, we want people to be succinct if they're expressing something, you know. And obviously we have various different agenda items that we have to discuss, and so.
So something of that nature to be written up and put underneath either attendance / participating, or having a new paragraph with participation.
So just to kind of make it more formal, I mean, we can determine right now how many minutes we would like to give people. I think we can articulate on there that people can participate by submitting a statement that can be read by a community council member, or they can represent themselves, I guess, if that makes sense, because we're all representatives of people. We've been voted into the position or whatever. So anybody have a time limit of how many minutes? 5 minutes?
I think 5 minutes is a very good and clear way. It's usually 2 kind of paragraphs of information. There can be made that the topic, I don't know, topic could be discussed over 10 minutes, but I think the expression, the whatever is read, I should be limited to 5 minutes so we don't take up too much time in the hour. That's my thought.
Okay. Does anybody want to second that, or does anybody want to throw out a different time minute allotment?
I just was going to ask how long people, like, public comment usually gets in district board meetings. Like, typically we have, I think their total public comment time is 18 minutes. And so I the number that keeps coming to my head is 3, but I'm fine with 5. I just wanted to throw that out there so we had some other sources of information, I guess.
if we're wanting to keep to like a set amount of time for public comments, like Sarah is indicating, 15 minutes could be like a rough amount of time that potentially could be allotted for public comments. And then depending on so if we allot 5 minutes per comment, then we could hear 3 comments per meeting. Or if we allot 3 minutes, then we potentially could hear more than that.
Yeah, but I like the 3 idea.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So we want to
3.
go with, and do we want to articulate how much total time, like Sarah was saying, so we could
Absolutely.
say 3-minute
Yeah.
comments and no more than 15 minutes of public comments per meeting?
Yeah.
People, I'm seeing head nodding, but make sure that you motion and second and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. So we're voting on this one part. Yes.
Right, yeah.
This
is the real
Sarah,
deal.
you motioned it, and I second that.
So Sarah motions.
I motion that we approve 3 minutes per individual public comment and 15 minutes for total public comment
And I second it.
and then
Per
Indy.
meeting.
per
Per
meeting.
meeting.
So here's how I have the language drafted on this one. All meetings are open to the public and the public is welcome to attend. All public statements shall be limited to 3 minutes and all public statements shall not exceed 15 minutes in total time per meeting.
Do you want to put in there too about the participants can submit statements to be read by community council members?
Yeah.
That way, if somebody wanted to submit a statement, that they could have somebody read it during that time.
How do they submit those?
They would submit those, so that would be part of the submitting procedures, to community council chair. And then we said 2 weeks prior. Is that already in, is that in our rules
No.
of work right now, or, okay, so we need to, but being clear about all this is really important, so. Because the agenda is supposed to be posted a week prior, I would say it needs to be 2 weeks prior.
What
Okay.
I wrote is participants can submit statements to the community council chair at least 2 weeks prior to the date of the meeting occurrence to be read during community council meetings.
Okay. Anything else with the rules of order and procedure?
I think we probably just need to have some official motions and seconds and then a vote on, like, there were a lot of things that we wrote
We
Yeah.
down.
talked about now. Yeah, it's like,
Let's
okay,
go
I thought
through
we were
them. I was updating the language as we went, so we can agree on the language,
Awesome.
and then we can, have somebody motion and somebody second it.
I just want to quickly say that Adam has outperformed me because when I took notes, I could not participate in the discussion.
I've got to
Let
say,
alone update the language.
I chose the worst meeting to agree to be the note taker.
This
Adam,
was a poor decision on your.
I don't have a gold star for you, but I'll give you a thumbs up.
We all support you, Adam. You're doing a
I
great
take
job.
thumbs up. So the first thing that we talked about was the proposal to update the wording of the phrase under council members. Before it said, voting shall be by secret ballot vote by the school community council. I updated this to say, voting shall be by secret ballot, either in person or via an online secret ballot tool by the community council. Does somebody motion to approve
I
that?
motion to approve.
I second.
Jenny,
go.
thank you.
No, Jenny got it.
Jenny-
Now we do
Jenny
need
got
to
it
take a
first.
vote.
Anyone?
Okay.
So
Yes,
does everybody know
we-
how to raise their hand?
Let me see if I I can do it this way.
Okay, so Dee, I'm gonna let you go ahead and say all in favor and
All in favor? Yeah, just say. All in favor? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. That is majority.
So that is update number 1. The next, the next one has to do with the language around the number of seats. Previously, it said the community council should have no more than 14 parent council seats in a minimum of at least 5, half of whom should be elected in, even odd years. And there must always be 2 more parent members than school employees. That I have updated to say the council should have no more than 6 voting parent council seats and at least 5, half of whom should be voted, even odd. And left in the language, there must always be 2 more parent members than school employees. We want to change that to 7 in a minimum of 6 to allow for 5 or 4 school employees.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll update that to 7. And then to that section, I added language that
So that'll be
exists
a total
below,
of
so
11
we could
instead of
remove this.
10.
Sorry.
But yeah, that language says, as community council meetings are open for participation to all teachers and parents, the above voting seats should not exclude participation. Should we leave that language in there or get rid of that?
Oh, I like that.
Okay. So does anyone motion to approve that language update?
Okay, so it's just to be clear, it's going to be no more than 11, or no more than 7 parent.
Yeah, the council should have no more than 7 voting parent council seats and at least 6. And I'm glad you asked that because I left 5 there. So at maximum 7, at minimum 6.
Is there verbiage in there? Sorry, is there verbiage in there for how many school members there will be?
It says there must always be 2 more parent members than school employees.
Great.
So
So that'd
if
make it
there
5
are
or
7
4.
parents, then the maximum would be 5 employees, and if there are 6, the maximum would be 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All in, I motion for this to proceed. Do I hear a second? Okay,
Second.
great. Thank you, Joanna. And now now that it's seconded, we shall vote. Yay. This is all official fun stuff. All
And
right.
just so you know, I actually think it was Jenny that seconded.
I got Jenny.
Jenny, thank
Yeah.
you.
And all have approved. Okay.
All right, all approved. Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, so the next one, we proposed and agreed to update to timeline for voting and selection of chair and vice chair in this section. Previously, it just started with after the school community council is seated each year, it'll vote on, the chair and vice chair. We added language before that, which says annual community council nominations and elections will occur each year in the fall. The announcement window will be open for at least 10 days, followed by a voting window that will be open for at least 14 days. And then it continues with the existing language.
Sounds great.
Sounds
Any
good.
adjustments? Okay. Anyone motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Wonderful. I'll second it.
that's Sarah, or who was that?
Yes, that was
Okay.
Sarah.
Or Ms. Burke,
Seconds.
sorry. Who seconded, Dee?
Yes. Okay, and vote.
So
right,
specifically,
7 hands.
like all in favor is
Oh,
we're
all in
raising
favor,
our
sorry.
hands, right? Okay.
All in favor?
I just want to be
And-
clear, especially for those who are viewing, that if we're raising our hands, that's because we are in favor of it.
Sorry,
Cool.
all in favor? Thank you. And that is a total of 7.
Okay.
8 there.
I
And
saw
then
that emoji, Jenny.
Oh, whoops.
was that a smiley
Don't
face?
act like it was
Yeah,
on accident.
She was
You
she
did
was
it
very
on
happy with
purpose.
that one.
I have a fat finger, apparently.
Okay, and then we already voted in motion, or sorry, we already motioned and seconded on the new proposed language around all meetings being open to the public and the public is welcome to attend in the 2 weeks, prior to the meeting stuff, but we didn't vote on that one. We just
All in
motioned and
favor?
seconded.
All in favor for that wording? All right,
Okay,
it's unanimous. Thank you.
so I will clean up the notes around all of this in the meeting minutes. And then on this one, I think it's going to be important for everyone to read through, make sure they agree with what I captured.
Great. Okay.
Well, Adam, I'm going to stick a link in the chat there to the YouTube streaming in case you need to go back and check yourself. Not that I think you will. You've been doing an incredible job, but I will tell you it was helpful to me.
Cool,
Thank
sounds
you so
good.
much.
Okay, is that all the adjustments that we're making to the rules of order and procedure?
Anyone else have any other points they'd like to discuss on the rules and procedures? Okay. Next bit. Dan or Sarah, do you have another thing you'd like to discuss for this last 10 minutes?
Yeah, just going over the title compact. So
Yep.
we put the link in the
I'll
chat.
stick it in the chat right here really quickly. It goes directly to it in case anybody wants to pull it up. Then I'm happy to share my screen, Dan, if that makes it easier.
That'd be great. Thank you.
You bet. Maybe.
We don't want people to see how many tabs I have open because it overwhelms people.
You can pull a tab off of the other windows and then it looks like you only have that open.
Right.
Do you run a Mac or do you run a Windows?
I'm on a PC right now, but I use a Mac at home. Yes.
Yeah.
There's an X in the top right corner that you can actually use to close those.
Yay. Got
Oh
this,
my gosh, that was awesome. Thank you for the laugh.
We have the parent and family engagement policy here. It does say HOLT, but this is a standardized policy that is put out, although we can make changes to it. And so that's what we're just going over the policy for those of you that were able to take a look at it before the community council. But essentially, they're wanting us to federal programs with the district would like us to discuss this at community council. And then we can accept the document as is, or we can recommend adjustments and be made to the document. Did anybody have a chance to preview the document before the meeting?
Where's that link, Sarah?
She put it in the chat.
Oh, in this chat.
Nothing popped out that I saw that looked like it needed to be adjusted or changed.
Yeah,
Just the name of the school. Or does that matter?
We need to, so we had the district's web person put this document on our website, and so obviously I've requested a document that has our school's name on it, but it will be the same document.
So
maybe we just give everyone a couple of minutes to read it.
Yep. That would be just fine. And if I can say, I believe that the written compact just reviews expectations from parents, students, and teachers that we already have in place, or that we currently have those expectations. So.
Looks like Dee maybe had to step away for a minute. I don't see any updates from my end.
I'm here, sorry. I just had to, it was clicking on, it brought me to the other site, and so it clicks me out from being present. But I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry. Looks good to me. I'm happy with it.
Does somebody want a motion to approve it as is?
I shall do that. I motion that as is acceptable. Do I hear my second speak?
Second.
I'll second it.
Wunderbar.
Okay, then we'll get an updated copy with our school's name on it, and we'll put down in the notes that our Title I compact was reviewed and agreed upon.
Okay.
can I motion to?
Let's vote on that.
Oh.
Right, Sarah. I was going back on my notes. All right. Voting commenced. It is approved. Thank you. Okay, now Sarah, what did you want to say?
I wanted to motion to adjourn.
Oh.
Is this the adjournment of community council for the whole school year?
Or are we going
I
to be
think
meeting
so.
one more time in June?
I won't be.
No?
Sadly, I'll be in South Clearfield, but I'm sure I will meet with them
What?
in September or October.
Are you kidding? This is the first I heard of this.
Yes, new adventures. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Great.
I will be sad to leave
Congratulations.
King, but I am a person who thrives in new challenges and changes, and I think this will be a great new adventure for me to keep learning and growing.
Well, since you want to motion that you want to adjourn for the remainder of the
What's
King
the word
time.
we normally use when we want to?
No, adjourn is correct. I motion to adjourn. Yeah, that's good. I'll second that. Thank you. Okay. And then we shall. I
Okay,
don't think we have to vote to actually adjourn. Meeting adjourned.